Yeah, it's actually kind of fun now. Who would have thought that I'd be doing a gameplay review of FC25 in the middle of Team of the Year? Actually, hang on, let me rephrase that. Who would have thought I'd be doing a positive gameplay review of Wait, no, hang on, one more time. Who would have thought I'd have anything positive to say about FC25 or EA Sports, period? I keep slapping myself over and over because I think I'm in some alternate timeline where EA makes good changes to their product, but it turns out when they have a little bit of competition, they magically change a few things for the better. It's almost like having a monopoly over the entire football, soccer gaming space is a terrible thing for consumers. Who knew? So FC25 just dropped a huge gameplay patch, and like a moth drawn to a flame, I had to go and check it out, especially because so many people were saying it was so much fun. So what exactly is making the gameplay so much more positive and enjoyable at the moment? What changes did EA make? Well, for one, something that I've talked about a lot in previous FIFAs and for other sports games in general is the game speed, and let me tell ya, the game speed is currently faster than any version in the past 5 years. Now maybe I'm used to UFL's slow gameplay, and almost anything compared to that is lightning fast, but the general speed of the game makes for a more fun and higher skill-based experience. That's not to say certain things can't be improved on, we'll get into those details later, but having a higher game speed will keep you on your toes and force you to concentrate at every moment. Otherwise, you'll get scored on. It may not be the most realistic, but at this point, I'd rather have power-ups and items in the game than play in gameplay that's so slow, I have to slow down my own thinking and inputs just to get something to work. But here's the thing, even if some of the previous FIFA games didn't have as fast of game speed as it is right now, some of those games were actually still decent, if the gameplay was consistent. Inconsistent gameplay is the biggest factor to the game being somewhat enjoyable or bearable, versus so bad it makes you want to stick your hand in a box of contaminated needles. Thankfully, this new update has helped the inconsistent gameplay become slightly more consistent. It's not fixed yet, which is a huge problem that I have yet to see in literally any other video game, but you know, props to EA for almost making a game that has as consistent of gameplay as something from 2005. One of the biggest reasons why the gameplay seems so good at the moment is because people get to experience good gameplay more often. And like I said before, some of these FIFAs in the past were actually decent in good gameplay. Not all of them. Definitely not all of them at all. For example, I tweeted this out in July of 2023 during the tail end of FIFA 23. I was pretty easily beaten 7-4, and I distinctly remember the gameplay being so good that I wanted to keep playing even after getting my ass handed to me. Just lost by 3 goals, and I've never had more fun playing FIFA 23. You want to know why I had never had so much fun in that game? It was because I had never experienced my players doing exactly what they are supposed to do. There were good touches, the players were moving quickly, players were making better runs. Again, I'm not saying every FIFA game would be good with consistent gameplay, but what I am saying is that inconsistent gameplay is the thing that made every FIFA for the past 6 years absolutely god-awful. The very few times I was lucky enough to experience good gameplay, I wouldn't care about the result or whatever scummy thing my opponent would do. I would just enjoy playing a game that actually listened and responded to my controls. Right now, in FC25, I'm able to experience good gameplay more often than any other FIFA in the past 6 years. And again, it's not fixed, not by a long shot, but at the very least, I'll be able to have more than one good gameplay experience a year. Now, that good gameplay experience did have an upper limit and a cap in previous years because the attacking AI was about as brain dead as the average Mason Greenwood supporter. It turns out people actually enjoy scoring goals and don't want to hold the hand of their 99 attack positioning player, and someone at EA just figured that out. Now look at this clip right here. When I get into space with Lozano, Isak tries to stay perfectly centered between these two defenders. He doesn't just run to the wing and take himself out of the play, and he doesn't just run forward where a defender is waiting for him and where Vinicius is making a run. he puts himself in the best position possible to receive the ball while also giving his teammates space. What about this example? When I have the ball with Vinicius, my opponent tries to double team me and he brings his right back out of position. Isak then makes a diagonal run into space. Let me repeat that. A diagonal run. Do you even understand the magnitude of that little play right there? I'm not sure if some of you have even played a FIFA game that had diagonal runs. I thought they were extinct like Barbary Lions or kids who wore Osiris shoes. Both of them are definitely dead now, by the way. And not only have the big things improved, like more consistent gameplay or better attacking AI, but a lot of the little things have improved as well. Dribbling, for example, feels more responsive and quick. Passing seems to happen when you actually want it to. In the past, it seemed like first-time passes were impossible to produce. And people's first touches will be good enough to allow for more responsive dribbling and passing. Look at my opponent just casually cut me open like it's nothing with these quick, smooth passes. It's wonderful. While this is mostly because of the more consistent gameplay, it's nice to see that good gameplay will at least allow these types of moves to happen if we're lucky enough to get it. Now, these improvements, while impactful and very welcome, do not make the game perfect, nor is it on the level of FIFA 17. There are still some major problems within the gameplay. While the attacking AI is certainly better than in the past few iterations of the game, player rules seem to limit how good it could be. For example, Team of the Year Bellingham has space to run into, but because his player role isn't a shadow striker, he just doesn't attack it. In this case, Vinicius sprints ahead when it doesn't make sense because he's an inside forward and he runs offside. Even in the most strict player roles in real life, you'll see players move from their role occasionally, like a winger who normally hugs the touchline, finding himself in the box to receive a cross. At the moment, player roles seem to limit how good attacking AI could be, as it's a little too rigid and too defined. Inconsistent gameplay, while better than it's been in previous years, should not be happening in the first place. I even had it happen to me. I went from back-to-back games with quick and responsive gameplay to players feeling like they're stuck in mud, and we mentioned before how if the gameplay is slow like that, then everything else just gets worse. You still got the finesse shot plus playstyle still being pretty damn overpowered. It made my Isak feel like Robin on performance-enhancing drugs. The outside of the foot free kick is also still overpowered. Too many animations can slow down the game and make you wait for your input to happen. The 2 tackle tax has been replaced by the 12 tackle tax. Is the ball made of rubber? Are the players wearing cement shoes? How does this happen? But the most infuriating thing about this game is still the passing. Believe me when I say this. UFL absolutely clears. Bellingham runs into space and I have over 2 bars of power with an over-the-top through ball. But, you know, Bellingham has to stop dead in his tracks because Lozano has the strength of a toddler. You may say, oh, that's his weak foot though. Okay, how about the exact same situation on his strong foot resulting in the exact same outcome? Okay, maybe you say I should put more power on it. Sure, let's try that. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't work. It gets blasted to kingdom come. Brother, a pass to a wide open player does not need to be rocket science, especially when these types of passes are getting through. Seriously, man, just lob the ball. Like, it doesn't need to go 50 yards vertically into the air, okay? For God's sake. At the moment, it's pretty evident that FC 25 is in a bit of a honeymoon phase in terms of gameplay. There's currently positives and negatives for sure, and it's great that there was such a positive change from just one patch. But I suspect at some point in the very near future, all the sweaty rats will have their monthly meeting to discuss how to make the game a cesspool for everyone involved, because at its core, FIFA is a broken game and has been for a while now. A new meta will be revealed and it'll most likely be something stupid, like flick-up volleys at the edge of the box. And I'm sure EA will listen to all of the bums who can't defend and revert parts of the patch to make the meta more defensive with their live tuning updates. However, until that happens, I think we all need to try to enjoy the gameplay, because EA have finally given us the absolute bare minimum and made the game occasionally fun to play. It's actually pretty similar to the start of the FIFA cycle, when people have their gold starter squads, no one knows the meta, and we're all just kind of vibing, except now we get it in the middle of the game cycle with really good and fun players. I mean, I'm not sure I've had this much fun at this point in the FIFA cycle since FIFA 18, and damn it, I'm gonna enjoy it. Okay, oh, yeah, no, still the same draft rewards since FIFA 16. Yeah, no, that's, oh, yeah, oh, alright.